Good morning, YouTube. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso. This is the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to the 19th passage of both the Tao Te Ching as well as the Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. We'll begin with the Tao Te Ching, which is attributed to the ancient Taoist sage Lao Tzu. Oops, it works better if I go into screen sharing mode, doesn't it? All right. Throw away holiness and wisdom, and people will be 100 times happier. Yes, our happiness is directly proportional to the enthusiasm with which we discard the superficial trappings, the superficial emblems of wisdom and holiness, and instead allow our holiness or our wisdom flow from a place of centered spontaneity. Throw away morality and justice, and people will do the right thing. Throw away industry and profit, there will not be any thieves. So, more than 1,000 years before the birth of Karl Marx, we're talking about moving away from a scarcity, lack, fear-based society to one where people use their talents not out of fear, but out of a desire to give. People shed competition and embrace cooperation. If these three are not enough, just stay at the center of the circle and let all things take their course. Rather than trying to make things happen, if instead we not only practice centered spontaneity, practice it to such a degree that it becomes a habit, that is the key to a truly fulfilling and meaningful life. Now let's turn our attention to the Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones, arguably the final meditation manual written by the 19th century Tibetan saint Patrul Rinpoche. As a young man, he wrote some very fundamentalist texts. As an old man, he wrote some very liberal, very enlightened texts. There is no time to be happy. Happiness is over just like that. We do not want to suffer, so eradicate suffering with Dharma. And by the way we practice Dharma, if the way we practice meditation is more of an ordeal than a pleasure, if it creates more stress than it alleviates, we're doing it completely wrong. We need to question all our preconceptions. Whatever happiness or suffering comes, recognize it as the power of your past actions. And from now on, have no hopes or doubts regarding anyone at all. It has been said by some of my teachers that if you want to know what your past is like, look at what's going on right now. You want to know what your future is going to be like, look at your behavior right now, your choices right now, the way you communicate right now. Whether you believe in literal karma or metaphoric karma, it can be empowering to move ourselves out of the position of the victim and more to the position of the author of our own experience. Now, clearly, we don't have complete control. In an interdependent universe, there are more things out of our control than in our control. But we can choose how we'll react to what manifests in our lives. It's been said that if you have to choose, it's too late. That's why we practice meditation every morning and every evening, so that when things take us by surprise during the day, noticing and relaxing the essence of mindfulness and insight, come automatically. By doing so, we will free ourselves from the duality of hating some things, wanting to push them away, and desiring other things, wanting to pull them closer to us. Forever pushing away and pulling towards is the key to perpetual dissatisfaction. However, being mindful of that pushing impulse and that pulling impulse, and then let going of it, that is the liberation that Buddha offers us. And that, my friends, is your mini lesson of the 19th passages. Do remember that the Tuesday evening series of weekly live webinars begins the first week of January. You can register using the link below. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Goodbye, Facebook.